In this tutorial, we will demonstrate how to use the Sheet Metal Workbench to create a simple sheet metal model. To get started, let's click on File, right here, New. Next, we want to go to the Part Design Workbench, right here. Then click on this New Body icon and this New Sketch icon. And we want to create this on the XY plane. Next, we're going to create a rectangle by clicking right here. And let's create a random size rectangle on the screen. Click, right-click. Next, we want to come over here and click on this icon, Settings, and turn on Auto Remove Redundants. This will make it easier for us to center the rectangle. Now, to center the rectangle, click on this point, and the intersection of the horizontal and vertical axis. Now, click on this tool right here, the Constrain Symmetrical tool. Next, click on this top line right here, and click on Constrain Horizontal Distance, this icon right here, and enter 40. Then click on this line right here, and then click this icon, Constrain Vertical Distance, and enter 40. Next, we will use this rectangle to create our sheet metal. To do that, click on Close. Next, click on Pad right here. First, verify that we are in the Part Design Workbench again. Now click on Pad. Now change the length to 1 millimeter. This is actually the thickness of the sheet metal panel. Now click right here to allow us to work on the top of the panel. Next, click OK. Now we're going to change to the Sheet Metal Workbench. Click here and here. Next, we're going to zoom in, hold down the Shift key, and use the mouse wheel, and select this edge right here. Next, click on this tool right here, Make Wall. And notice that this extended the size of the sheet metal and made the bend. So we have our original 40 by 40 here, plus we have this bend. Let's click here, and you can see that the bend itself is 10 millimeters long. We can modify that by clicking here and typing in 20 millimeters. Let's zoom out. And we'll click the right mouse button and hold down the Shift key to be able to look at the model from various angles. Now let's click once again on Isometric View here. And let's return our length of the bend to 10 millimeters. Now, to demonstrate some other capabilities, make sure that we've selected Bend in the combo view, and we can come down and let's change Invert from False to True. And tab out, and notice that now the bend has changed direction. Again, I'll hold down the Shift key and use the right mouse button to maneuver around and see this from various angles. Back now to the isometric view. And click on Bend once again, and let's undo that. We'll change Invert from True to False, and hit the Tab key. And now we're back to where we started. Now we're going to change the angle to 45 degrees. Click here, type in 45. Note the change in the model. Let's go back to 90 degrees. Enter 90, tab, and we're back once again to where we started. Now we're going to change the radius to demonstrate that. So we click right here and change that to 10 millimeters. And we've changed the radius of the bend. Let's return to the original 1 millimeter. And let's demonstrate how to make a tab. To do that, we click here and make this gap 1. We'll change that to 10 millimeters. And we'll do gap 2 to 10 millimeters. And we have a tab. Again, hold down the Shift key and the right mouse button, and we can maneuver around and see how the model looks. Click on Isometric View to return to that view. Let's go back and change our gap back to 0. And this one. Next, let's double check that we have bend selected, and let's come down to Auto Miter right here, and we're going to change that to false. Then we're going to come down, pull this down, till we get to miter angle 1, and we're going to change that to 10 degrees. And miter angle 2, we'll change that to 10 degrees. And notice the miter on the bend. We'll manipulate the model to make it clear. Now back to isometric view. And let's return the miter angle to 0. And do the other one. And turn auto miter back to true. So this should give you some idea of how to manipulate the properties of the bend to achieve whatever your goals may be. We're back now to our original 40 by 40 with our 10 millimeter bend. Next, we're going to bend the other side. Let's use the navigation wheel here to move the model around and select this opposite side right here, and once again select this tool here, Make Wall, and let's hit isometric view. Notice now that we have a bend on both sides, and note that we have 2 bends shown in the combo view. Click on bend number 1. That's actually the second bend, this bend right here. And let's, for instance, make a modification there. Change that to 45 degrees. Or we can return it to 90 degrees by entering 90. We can change the length to 20 millimeters. Or return it back to 10 millimeters. And of course, we can continue on with all of these properties, working on bend 001 as we see fit. Next, we're going to demonstrate how to make a hole in our piece of sheet metal. To do that, let's go to the Part Workbench, click here, and here. And now let's click on this icon right here, Cylinder. Next, click on Cylinder right here in the combo view. Double click, that is. And notice that our radius is 2 millimeters, our height is 10 millimeters, and our rotation angle is 360. Now we're going to position this cylinder so that we can cut a hole in our sheet metal. To do that, Let's change our Y position here to -20. And let's change our Z position to -6. Next, we want to come down and change the Y rotation axis to 1 and the angle to 180. And I'm going to hold down the Shift key and use the right mouse button to maneuver the model so that we can see it from various angles. Return to the perspective view. Next, we're actually going to make a hole in the sheet metal. To do that, click on Body right here in Combo View and Control-click on Cylinder. Now click on this icon right here, which is Cut, or Make a Cut of two shapes. And kaboom, we now have a hole in our sheet metal. You can hold down the Shift key, use the right mouse button to manipulate around and see that in fact we do have a hole in the sheet metal. Back now to perspective view. Of course, we can make as many holes as we like, and we can make them any diameter that we like and anywhere on the sheet metal that we like. But this gives you the idea very quickly of how to create sheet metal using the Sheet Metal Workbench, and how to make holes in your sheet metal, how to bend your sheet metal, how to manipulate it to get to the shape that you're looking for. That concludes this video tutorial on the Sheet Metal Workbench. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you.